Who doesn't want to be free from money problems? Never worry about bills again, if there's enough money for that Europe trip, or to help out a loved one in need. Those things will never be a problem again once you achieve financial freedom. So what does financial freedom actually mean? Financial freedom is when you have assets that passively generate more money than you need. If you live in a big city in a Western country, that's easily above 1 or even 2 million. And I don't blame you if you think that's impossible. That's also what I thought when I just started saving again in Canada, and this is a longer story for another time, about 5 years ago. Despite daydreaming about it, I felt that the 1 million mark was unattainable. I was desperate, and I got easily discouraged by my slow progress because I couldn't see the larger picture. Fast forward 5 years now, I'm now at stage 5, I'll explain in a moment, and working towards stage 6. That awful feeling of desperation is now gone, replaced by a feeling of confidence that I will reach stage 7. So what changed? Apart from having many more dollars in my account, I now have a clear roadmap that I want to share with you today. About 5 years ago, I read about the 7 stages of financial freedom concept popularized by financial gurus like Sabatier in his book Financial Freedom, A Proven Path to All the Money You Will Ever Need. A great book I recommend, by the way. I've adapted the stages based on my own experience and how I wished it was presented to me years ago. And I hope that these 7 stages will help you make sense of your road to financial freedom or get you motivated to start. And as we go, please do let me know in the comments below what stage you are at right now. So let's start. Stage 1 is awareness. One reason why many people can't save any money, besides a difficult economy and barring very few extraordinary situations like a severe disability, is that they lack awareness of their financial situation. They might have a fleeting awareness that they're in a very bad spot financially, but perhaps it's so bad that they avoid looking at it. So they have no idea of how much they're spending and how much debt they have. Being in a state of financial mess and financial fog is a big demotivator on its own. You don't know where to start and whether curbing your spending even makes a difference. So the first step is to achieve awareness about your financial situation. Your first task here is to take stock of your finances. Like a doctor assessing someone's health, diagnose your financial health. Note down exactly how much you earn before taxes and how much disposable income you have after taxes, since this is what you can actually spend. Also note down how much money you spend exactly, and for that you need to track your expenses in detail in the beginning. Figure out how much you have in assets and how much debt you have. Everything from credit card to car loans and your mortgage, so you can calculate your net assets. The sobering truth might be that your net assets are negative, meaning you owe more than you own. Perhaps you also realize that you are spending way more than your paycheck each month. This might feel like a slap in the face, but don't let this discourage you. By simply taking stock of your finances, you will have arrived at stage 1, which is awareness of your financial situation. You are no longer in denial and know what you need to fix. Jordan Peterson said something along the lines of, if you don't confront the things that frighten you, the monsters will keep lurking under your bed and they'll continue to grow and multiply. So there you go. At stage 1, you will have confronted these monsters. You're now ready to work towards stage 2, which is break even. This stage is where many people get stuck. Their cash flow is broken, meaning that they spend way more than they earn. The goal of this stage is to simply get to a break-even point in terms of income and expenses. If so far your expenses were $5,000 each month while your net income was only $4,000, resulting in a negative cash flow of $1,000 each month, your goal now is to make this number at least 0, if not more. That means either increasing your income, for example, to at least $5,000 per month to cover your expenses, or to reduce your expenses to $4,000 so you don't spend more than you earn. Or achieve a combination of both. For example, increase your income to $4,500 while simultaneously reducing your expenses to $4,500. Either way, you will achieve a break-even in terms of your cash flow. That way, you will at least no longer add on to your pile of debt. Many people think it's hard to save even $100,000. And while it is a challenge, I would say that reaching stage 2 or break even will be the hardest for most people. The reason is that at this stage, you can't just rely on the power of compounding yet. Since your savings are low, there's not much to compound yet. To break even, you have to work super hard in the beginning. You have to be willing to work more hours or work harder to find a higher paying job while living as simple and frugal as you can. And yes, the process can be painful painful in the beginning as you're uncertain and worried if you can ever make it. But once you break even and can finally escape the debt trap, you will find it very rewarding. And then you'll feel encouraged to go on to the next stage, stage 3, which is safety net. It's nerve-wracking to sign into your bank account only to see a few $100s. That's barely enough to replace my old laptop whose battery keeps on dying. Something as simple as that can induce anxiety and make you feel like you have a big lump in your throat. I've been there. A lot of people lose sleep over financial worries, and when you're afraid, it's really hard to focus and take action. So this is the goal of stage 3, which is to create a safety net financially so that you can have a peace of mind in the form of an emergency fund. Now, how much do you actually need? Ideally, 3 to 6 months. If you earn $5,000 per month, that's $15,000 to $30,000. If you suddenly need that new laptop, you can easily buy it and you still have money left. But if that seems too much, don't get discouraged. Start small. Even an emergency fund of 1 month, so $5,000 in this example, goes a long way. But how do you go from living paycheck to paycheck to saving an emergency fund? I would like to say cut down more on your spending, but there's a limit to that. So the only other way is to increase your income again. And it's not impossible. Many people I know increase their salary by 20 to 30% just by moving to another company. With a salary bump, you'll start saving some money and your emergency fund, hopefully within a year. And if that doesn't work, take up a side hustle that brings in another $500 or even $2,000 per month. After doing this, instead of seeing $220 in your account, now it's more like $5,000. You have a buffer, a breather. You're immune to small financial emergencies. And remember, you're no longer living paycheck to paycheck. Something big has changed. You've set yourself up to creating a surplus. Going forward, each month you can add to your savings and investments and slowly but surely pay off your debt. I promise you it will be worth it. Once you create your safety net, you will be able to relax a bit. You'll feel there's hope and can start feeling the excitement of planning for the future. Like my ex-boss always used to say, you'll start having a fire in your belly and become motivated to eliminate your debt and finally grow wealth. You're ready to tackle stage 4 now, which is growth. After you've saved up $20,000 or $30,000, you might feel really glad, but feel that it's still a relatively small amount. You might look at it and go, $20,000, fine, but how will I ever really get ahead in this life? It's tough to even add $1,000 to your savings each month, and after looking at it for a whole year, it's like it's barely increasing. In stage 4, the goal is to grow your savings. An important psychological milestone is to achieve $100,000 in investments, and this is done by 1, adding money that you earn from your income, and for that you need to continuously increase the difference between your income and your expenses, and 2, even more crucially, by investing that money. You'll only get so far by saving money. If you don't invest it wisely, then it will take forever or never to achieve financial freedom. That is what I thought too a few years back when my portfolio was barely at $20,000 in Canada. The number $100,000 seemed so distant, but luckily I made one of the best decisions in my life, which was to finally start investing. Yes, I admit it, despite having worked in banking in my first career and managing projects to increase customer account openings and their holdings with the bank, I myself barely knew anything about investing. It was only when I realized that one day I wanted to be financially free and have freedom over my time that I started seriously investing into the stock market. The first investment app I opened in Canada was Wealthsimple about 4 years ago. And this is of course not the only one. There are many great investment apps in Canada and the US that you can use to invest. Honestly, the decision of which platform to use is far less important than the decision to invest at all. But the reason back then that I was drawn to Wealthsimple was because the minimum funding was only $1. What could go wrong, right? And it didn't cost anything to buy and sell stocks and ETFs, whereas other platforms would either charge for both buying and selling, or buying was free, but then there was a fee for selling stocks. And I didn't want that. I was early in my investment journey and I wanted the flexibility to just buy and sell without having to pay trading fees. So I stuck with Wealthsimple for about 4 years now, and I really love using the app because it's so easy and intuitive to use. And I just realized that this ease of use did have a small added benefit. It made me want to use and look at the app all the time. The way the app shows your investments is so clear and so easy to read, it makes you motivated to keep adding money to it. Anyways, I'm not sponsored by Wealthsimple, but if you use my referral code in the descriptions below to open your own account, I will get a small reward of 20%. $25. But guess what? You will also get a bonus of $25 in your account upon funding. So to grow your money fast, it's important to invest early on as much as possible in the right kinds of investments. And for beginners especially, that means index ETFs, in my opinion. It takes the guesswork away. If you invest into the S&P 500, for example, you'll automatically invest into the 500 largest companies there are in the US that are diversified through their operations and markets worldwide. The S&P 500 has grown by 10% on average per year since 1957. In Canada, for example, you can buy the VFV or the VOO. Which one you buy is a minor optimization decision, in my opinion. And what I'm about to say is a bit more controversial, and this is not financial advice, but my opinion. As the economy has changed and currencies all around the world are losing value as a result of governments printing money, I also believe that it's important to invest in an asset that is anti-inflationary, and that is Bitcoin. I've made a video on what I think about Bitcoin here, and there will be several more to come. Bitcoin held over the long term, stress long term, is what I believe will pull many people out of their financial misery. I personally have bought small fractions of Bitcoins or Satoshis since 2021 and will continue doing so. I've been buying it on various platforms, including Wealthsimple and also NDAX, which is a Canadian crypto exchange with one of the lowest trading fees of only 0.2%. So by gradually increasing the amount of money you invest each month and choosing an investment strategy that yields healthy growth and suits your needs and risk profile, you will probably get to $100,000 in anything from 3 to 6 years. Right now, it might seem like a long time to you, but trust me, this process is so much fun, and it will get easier and easier as you have more money to compound. As you go from 30 to 50 to 70 and finally 100K, there are plenty of milestones to celebrate. And as your investments continue to grow, at times it does almost feel magical. You'll feel a deep sense of peace. When I first hit 100K in investments, any frustrations that I had about money started easing. Instead of feeling worried about money, I felt enthusiastic and I had a rush of confidence that I would reach stage 7, financial freedom, probably sooner than I thought. I believe you'll experience the same. You'll feel motivated, and when you're motivated, everything becomes much easier. You're now cruising on to stage 5, the stage I'm at now, which is wealth building. 100K is not much in this economy, so you gotta keep growing your assets. But once you've hit 100K, the process is no longer mysterious. If you could grow from 0 to 100K, it means you've got all the basics down. Even if you only invested $1,000 per month, your 100K would grow to $460,000 in 10 years. But hey, we didn't come this far to stop. So you need to double down further. Build on the momentum to continue earning more income so you can invest more money. By investing $3,000 per month, you'll get to $1.1 million in 12 years. It might still sound intimidating, but not that impossible anymore. Think of it, you got from 0 to 100K, so you know exactly how to save, invest, and grow your money. You've learned a ton, plus now the power of compounding really starts kicking in. So what is the end game? It really depends on you. What do you want? One milestone that many people want to achieve is the next stage, which is financial independence. This is the stage where you have enough in assets to generate passive income to cover your living expenses so that work becomes optional. This is the goal pursued by the FIRE community, or financial independence retire early. I don't think that you need to compete with other people to retire at 35 or even 45, but wouldn't it be great to get to a point where you're no longer relying on your earned income to pay the bills? Wouldn't it be nice if that happened before you're 65? The idea is that once you achieved a certain number in assets, let's just say that's $1.5 million, you can withdraw 3 to 4% of the amount each year from those investments, that is $45,000 to $60,000, to cover your expenses while retaining your initial investments. So how much money or investments, to be precise, would you need to have? A simple formula to calculate your target number would be to take your yearly expenses, for example $40,000, and multiply that by 25, in this case resulting in $1 million. This is based on the assumption that you can withdraw 4% each year, 100 divided by 4%. To be more conservative, you would assume a 3% withdrawal rate each year, which means you'd need 100 divided by 3 equals 33.333 and so on, times 40,000 equals 1.3 million. And I know it's a long way from 100,000 or 200,000 to $1 million, but again, there will be plenty of milestones to celebrate on the way. Your your first 300K mark, 500K, and so on. And before you know it, you're at 1 million. You technically don't have to work anymore unless you want to, and you can actually work on the things that you care about if you haven't been doing that all these years. You might be satisfied with your financial situation here, or you might decide or automatically continue to the next stage, which is financial freedom. This is the stage where you have enough in assets to generate more money than you need. So not just for your day-to-day expenses or that one-time yearly vacation, but even more. You can easily afford to go on multiple vacations per year, eat all the food that you want without worrying about the price, and easily support other people that you care about. You can afford yourself a major lifestyle upgrade and total flexibility without it negatively impacting your finances. And from stage 6 to stage 7, it might even be the easiest. Even if you don't invest anything more, if you just let your $1 million compound at 10% over 5 years, it will become 1.6 million without you doing anything. Doesn't this make you want to get to 1 million really fast? Don't forget to let me know which stage you're at and what tips you might have in case you're further ahead in the journey. In case you haven't started investing yet, don't forget to check out Wealth Simple, and here's also a tutorial on Wealth Simple that you might want to watch.